Today, we are diving deep into what might just be the most important copy-paste function in the entire universe, DNA replication. This is the incredible process that lets every single living thing, yep, that includes you, grow, heal, and, well, exist. So forget your keyboard shortcuts, your Control-C, Control-V. The real MVP of copy-paste is happening trillions of times a day inside your own body. It's DNA replication. Without it, your cells couldn't divide. Life, as we know it, just wouldn't be possible. So why is this whole process so absolutely critical? Well, think of your DNA as the ultimate instruction manual for building and running you. Every single time a cell divides, whether it's for growing bigger, healing a cut, or just routine maintenance, it has to pass on a perfect, flawless copy of that manual to the new cell. Now, the way it does this is called semi-conservative replication. It sounds a bit technical, right? But the idea is actually super elegant. It just means that when DNA copies itself, it doesn't make two totally new molecules from scratch. Instead, each new DNA double helix is a hybrid. One half is the original old strand, and the other half is brand new. It's an amazing system for making sure the copy is always faithful. Okay, so to really get how you copy the manual, we first need to understand how the manual itself is put together. So let's break down the blueprint of life, the DNA molecule. The most basic building block is something called a nucleotide. You can think of it as a little three-part piece. There's a sugar and a phosphate group, and they form the backbone of the molecule. And then there's the third part, a chemical base. This is the part that actually carries the genetic code. And you know what's wild? There are only 4 types of these bases in all of DNA: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. We just call them A, G, C, and T. The very specific order of these 4 letters is what writes the entire, unbelievably complex instruction manual for all of life. And this brings us to the golden rule of DNA. It's incredibly simple, but it is profoundly important. Adenine, or A, always pairs up with thymine, T, and cytosine, C, always pairs up with guanine, G. This strict, predictable pairing is the absolute secret to how DNA can be copied so perfectly. So you put all of that together, and what do you get? The iconic double helix. Just picture a twisted ladder. The 2 long sides are the sugar-phosphate backbones, and the rungs of the ladder are those A, T, and CG base pairs. Now, here's a crucial detail. The 2 strands are antiparallel. They run in opposite directions, kind of like a two-way street. And trust me, this detail is key for understanding how this whole copying thing actually works. All right, we have our instruction manual. How in the world does the cell actually copy it? Well, the very first step is to open it up. And this all begins with what I like to call the great unzipping. Replication doesn't just start randomly. It kicks off at very specific locations called origins. An enzyme called DNA Helicase then gets to work. Think of Helicase as the unzipper. It just cruises along the DNA, breaking the bonds between the bases and unwinding those 2 strands. Then another enzyme, Primase, comes in and adds a little RNA primer. This thing is basically a little sticky note that tells the machinery, hey, start copying right here. So once the DNA is unzipped and primed, the real construction work can begin. But as you're about to see, this isn't a simple, straightforward story. It's really a tale of 2 very different strands. The star of this whole show is an enzyme called DNA Polymerase. This is our master builder. Its job is to move along the original strand and add the perfect matching nucleotide to build the new one. But it has one critical limitation. It's a one-way street kind of worker. DNA polymerase can only add new bases in a single direction, and this creates a fascinating puzzle for the cell to solve. And because of that one-way only rule, and the fact that those 2 DNA strands are running in opposite directions, well, the 2 new strands can't possibly be copied in the same way. This is where things get really, really clever. So one strand, we call it the leading strand, is the easy one. The DNA polymerase can just follow the unzipping helicase and build continuously in one long, smooth piece. Simple. But the other strand, the lagging strand, is pointing the wrong way. So the cell has to copy it backwards in a bunch of short, disconnected chunks called Okazaki fragments. It's a much more complex kind of start and stop process. So now we have 2 new strands, but the lagging strand is still in pieces, and all those little RNA primers are still hanging around. The job's not done yet. It's time for the cleanup crew to come in and make everything absolutely perfect. This final stage is called termination. First, an enzyme zips through and removes all those temporary RNA primers. Then, another key member of the crew, DNA ligase, gets to work. You can think of ligase as the expert gluer. It moves all along the lagging strand, joining all of those short Okazaki fragments together and creating one continuous, perfect strand of DNA. Job done. Now, this process is astonishingly accurate, but it isn't 100% perfect. And when you think about the sheer scale of replication, even a tiny, tiny error rate can have absolutely massive consequences. So what happens when this incredibly intricate copying process makes a mistake? One of the most common errors is something called a single base substitution. It's basically a typo in the instruction manual. One letter, just one single base out of billions, gets accidentally swapped for another one. A lot of the time, this does nothing at all, but sometimes the consequences can be devastating. A classic and heartbreaking example is the mutation that causes sickle cell anemia. In the gene that codes for hemoglobin, that's the protein in our red blood cells, a single letter A is swapped for a T. That's it. This tiny typo changes one amino acid, one building block of the protein, to another with a different property. And that one change is enough to completely alter the protein's shape, causing the red blood cell to warp from a nice, smooth disc into a rigid, sticky sickle shape. And the downstream effects of this are catastrophic. These misshapen cells just can't flow smoothly through tiny blood vessels. They get stuck, creating log jams that cut off blood flow to tissues and organs. This leads to excruciating pain, serious organ damage, and a whole host of severe health problems, all of it stemming from a single typo made during DNA replication. So remember that whole molecular dance we just walked through? The unzipping, the building, the gluing? This isn't some rare event happening in a lab. It's happening on an unimaginable scale, right now, inside you. Over 2 trillion times a day, your cells perform this near-perfect copy-paste, and in doing so, they sustain your very life. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. We've seen how one tiny error in this process can cause so much harm, but we've also seen its incredible, breathtaking precision. So, if this microscopic copy-paste function holds such a powerful key to our health, what other secrets about who we are, what we can be, are just waiting to be read in our DNA?